Welcome everybody to Q Park and Mississauga Men's Baseball League action here on Rogers TV. Good evening everyone, I'm Jason Jackson, along here with my colleague Brian Sadeko, and we are here tonight to call all the action for you here on Rogers TV of Mississauga Men's Baseball League action. Brandon, tonight, unlike our previous two broadcasts here on Rogers TV, which were interleague play, tonight, divisional matchup. A division, you've got the Blue Jays taking on the Cubs.
You know, it's going to be a great matchup despite what the standings tell you. You got one in second place being the Cubs. The Jays, of course, are at the bottom of the A division, but is a very competitive division. And earlier, you know, they were saying that the Jays were saying that this might be actually the most talented team they have. They got to work out the kinks, but you never know what's going to happen, especially at the A division, because it's all about batting, it's all about pitching, and you need everything on every night.
Absolutely. And defense, a huge part of that, which is a huge part of the A division as well. In fact, you know, we're going to talk, you talked to the Cubs manager, Ryan Goodfellow, player manager, moments ago. We'll get to that in a moment. But the Cubs, you know, a tremendous team. They've been in the league 7 years. 6 out of those 7 years, they've either been in the final or they've won the championship. That's a tough team to beat. It's a tough task for the Jays tonight.
You know, some people don't like dynasties, but when it comes to these things, maybe you do like them. It's a team that has a lot of veteran guys. You know, these guys have all been around for 5, 6, 7 years on this team. They don't like to really mix up their lineups, and it shows. They're very comfortable with one another, and you might hear some unfamiliar chatter in the dugout there, and that's how familiar they are, and that's how they play. They play like a team, and you want to play like a team because you win like a team.
You're right. They've got that veteran presence. Let's go. You spoke with their manager, Ryan Goodfellow, earlier. Let's take a look.
Brandon Sadeko here with Ryan Goodfellow of the Cubs, and Ryan, it's been several years. You've been the coach of this team, and what do you guys think has been key to your progression? Because you guys have won several championships over the years.
It's team unity. We've been in the leagues 8 years now. This is the 8th year. We've won it 4 to the 7 years so far. It's just the guys having fun. The key word there is fun, because we stress that at the start of the game. Win or lose, you got to have fun. At the end of the day, that's all it is.
When it comes down to the league, you know, you're going to have guys leaving and guys coming in. How do you guys determine who you want to bring in and make sure how's it fit for your team?
Really, we do not do any cuts. It's just that's why I emphasize the word fun. We've been lucky over the years to have such a great team. We haven't had to cut any guys, but the guys that leave, they do it on their own. So.
Over the years, I guess, you've had a lot of the guys stick around. So how do you guys maintain the fun? You know, obviously there's going to be jokes in the dugout.
It's a big smack talk team. So we have a lot of fun with these guys, so, and that's about it. So.
Hey, Ryan, best of luck in the game today.
Thank you very much.
Of the Cubs, also the junior vice president of the Mississauga Men's Baseball League. Wears a lot of hats, gets a lot of jobs done. We wouldn't all be here without him. Let's just say that. Conversely, let's talk about the Blue Jays. You know, right now they're about 5 games out of a playoff spot. But you know what? Like you mentioned, you were talking earlier to their player manager, Marco Serra. You know, their most talented team they feel they've ever had.
You know, it's just one of those things. Sometimes a team will click
together, but they won't have the success on the field, and it's one of those things. It's just a bad inning that happens, one error here, it kind of gets you off kilter, and that could be the unraveling. If this team plays a strong 7 innings, you never know what's going to happen. But one of the good things is, it's not like they're getting blown out in every single game. It's one of the these are the games they play that are those 6-5, 4-3. They're tight games. You have to earn everything against them, but you know what? They just don't come out with the W.
And that's very important, like you said. And speaking with Ryan Goodfellow earlier, as I did, you know, he's always said they've played them tough. They've always played tough with them. Let's go to the interview you did with Blue Jay player manager Marco Serra.
With Marco Serra here, Jays manager, and Marco, it's been a tough year, but I'm sure it's still been a fun year for you guys.
Oh, yeah, we've had a few new guys join the team, and you know, we had our ups and downs, but we've been playing better ball lately, so things have been progressing slowly. It takes time sometimes.
Veteran of the league, I'm sure you had a lot of guys come in, and what's maybe different about this team this year than you've had in the past?
As funny as it is, even though our record doesn't show it, we probably have the most talent we've had on the team for at least 2 or 3 years. And even though we've struggled, we haven't had the greatest last few games. We have been progressing slowly and getting better. So it's just a matter of time before things do finally click in.
And as you mentioned, you know, things got to click in. What's one of the things maybe you guys are focusing on game in, game out to make sure that you can turn that corner?
Just focusing on the fundamentals, making sure that we're playing solid defense and getting everything in order, playing the right way, so that, you know, at least we're not embarrassing ourselves out there.
Marco, thanks for the time, and best of luck to you and the Jays in this game.
Thank you.
There you have it. That's Blue Jays manager Marco Serra, and you know, he hit on it. Defense, especially in the A division, that's the key. You play good D, you know, you're going to be in the game. If you don't, some of these teams make you pay for it, and that's the big difference.
Looking at the Cubs right now, you got to look up and down the lineup again. A lot of veteran guys here and there, and they have some talent in there. Number 23 and number 25, Rory Saunders and Adam Hand. Those are your power hitter guys, and you're going to really want to watch out for them. And right near on the bottom there was Mark Hickman, and they call him a Yusel Puig lookalike. He's kind of got the shape going on, maybe not necessarily the game to him, but he's from top to bottom. You got a bunch of strong guys there.
You mentioned Rory Saunders. He was actually in the home run derby, the All-Star home run derby a few weeks ago. Has 4 home runs on the season. Look for him maybe with the wind blowing out tonight, maybe to do a little something.
You never know in the park, but hey, if you can get one, it's going to be great for the fans out here.
All right, we're just about set for action here at Q Park and MMBL action on Rogers TV. Blue Jays having a last-minute pep talk here as they get ready for action. Big game for them tonight, as we mentioned. They're quite a few games out of a playoff spot, but a bunch of games left. Some time to make up some ground, but name of the game is they got to put some wins together. It's
always the name of the game, and with the amount of games that they have left, you can easily put through a string, and given the division, it can be just as good, and they can move up into that playoff spot that they obviously want. No one wants to just kind of miss the playoffs by a game or two. So, they're probably going to make a very good run in this basically quote-unquote second half of the season as we go. So, again, you just got to be watching for them. They're going to play steady baseball, and that'll be the difference.
And they've got a tough task ahead of them tonight. Like we mentioned earlier, the Cubs. This is a team that's been in the league 7 years. 6 out of the 7 years they have been in the championship final. Out of those 6 times, 4 championships. They're the team to beat, no doubt about it. Like you mentioned, a lot of veteran presence, a lot of good ball players. They rarely make mistakes, and when you make mistakes, they make you pay for them.
They got a pair of rookies joining them too, which again, Goodfellow mentioned that they don't bring a lot of guys in. They don't cut the guys, but they did bring a pair of kids in from the Mets, obviously to help them saw what they like and add again to the core, which has been so dominant. Like you said, 6 of 7 years, they're going to try and make it 7 of 8 into this one to head into the finals and maybe bring home banner number 5 for their clubhouse. Which they might need a bigger one at the end of this one.
They very well might be. On the mound for the Jays today, number 19, Big Jeff Lowen. This is Jeff's 3rd season with the team, and last year was voted in 2010 was voted the Blue Jays' top pitcher.
And just taking a look at some of his pitches here, you can see he's got some late break on a couple of those warm-ups. Of course, always deceiving in warm-ups, but I'm sure it's going to be there during the game. Nothing's going to come in straight, and it's not going to be easy for these Cubs hitters.
We are almost set for action here at Q Park. Beautiful night for baseball. Our umpires for today's game, behind the plate, we've got Joel Goom, and doing the bases, Harold Cuffey.
MMBL umpire standouts right there, and good ones at that. The one thing we do got to say about this league is you guys bring in a lot of top quality umpires, and you're never always going to agree with the umpires, but they're good enough guys that when you do disagree, they're going to listen before they tell you to just walk away.
Politely, please walk away.
Politely, yes.
All right, we're set for action. Leading it off for the Cubs, number 77, Andrew Bruce. Andrew this year after a decent start, hitting .312. Got 3 doubles, 8 RBIs. Got a lot of speed here at the top of the Cubs order. First pitch is outside, and we're underway. One pitch down and away. 2-0 here to Andrew Bruce.
There was that little bit of movement I was talking about a little earlier in his warm-up pitches there, but he's just got to bring it back in.
Lowen winds and deals the 2-0. Also outside.
Out the glove, 3-0 count. It's always one of these situations, you got a good team here. You give them that green light, you let them wait, knowing that the pitcher missed by a little bit on each of those 3 balls there.
And there's a strike.
There's that first one. He was sitting on it, waiting for it. Pitcher found it and looking to build off this one right here.
Well, as a leadoff hitter, Andrew was sitting there waiting for make sure that pitch was a good pitch. He'll get on any way he can. He's going to get on there on outside ball 4, and Bruce is aboard to lead off the first for the Cubs.
Another walk, 6th of the season, and you got to watch him on the base path. You never know what the leadoff guys are always going to do.
Here's Rory Soanes. 4 home runs on the year for Rory. As we mentioned earlier, he was in the All-Star Home Run Derby a couple weeks back here at Q Park. First pitch again, outside, ball 1.
Feel like yelling at good old Bob Uecker there, just a bit outside. Can't do it as good as him, never can. Should have stopped right there.
Lowen looks in for a sign, he's got it. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike, evens the count at 1-1.
Interesting to note that Bruce on first right there, just not jumping at all on the base path, so I think he's just waiting here to make sure the ball's in play.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball down and away. 2 balls and a strike to Rory Soanes. Lowen's got his sign. Here's the pitch. There goes Bruce. And he is there on a very late throw, had a huge jump, and he is now in scoring position.
You know, it's always questioned. People always wonder why is the catcher bothering to throw in those scenarios when you know you're not going to get him, and you just want to force the issue. You want to make him double think, because if he's being relaxed out there, you might catch him napping.
Lowen checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Another one outside, and that is back-to-back walks to lead off the game here. And that's going to bring up the big man, number 25, Adam Hand.
Again, Hand, the big power hitter right now, batting .407. He's got 11 hits and a couple extras there, including a double and a triple, and of course, his 2 home runs to help out the Cubs' cause this season.
So he'll be looking to cash in here. Here's the first pitch. And that's in there for strike 1. Earlier this year, the Cubs had a game at the Rogers Center against the Red Sox, and Hand hit one that just missed getting out. I think it dented the wall in right. It's the 0-1 down and away, evens the count at 1-1.
Always wonder, are you going to get a bill for anything you do for that? You know, you dent it, you hit the plate, the base wrong, anything like that?
I don't know. We'll have to check with him later, see if he got something on that. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, big swing and a miss, strike 2. Took something off that one.
Hand was looking for it, and Lowen said no. That was just perfect pitching right there, messing up the batter's timing.
A ball and 2 strikes. Curveball just misses outside, evens the count at 2.
Lowen likes to work outside, it appears. You know, he's trying to get that off outside edge.
Here's the 2-2. Just down. That's going to make it a full count. Action pitch here. You got to figure he's got to come to him. He does not want to walk his 3rd batter in a row to lead off this game. Here's the 3-2. That's up high, ball 4, and the bases are now loaded. And I'm sure not the start the Blue Jays were looking for.
There's no way you want to start off with 3 straight walks, but you know what? Sometimes it happens. Pitchers, they'll find that groove you always want at the beginning, but you know what? They might find in the next inning here. You just got to take the little growing pains right now and get past it.
That's going to bring up Mike Stewart. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the first. Big chance for the Cubs.
Ball 1.
That pitch is down. Stewart having a good year, batting .345, couple of doubles. Takes that pitch in at the knees, evens the count at 1-1.
Stewart just watching there, forcing the pitcher to get that strike, and that's one thing you want to do, up his pitch count if you can.
Ball 2.
Pitch just a little inside. 2 balls and a strike. Stewart, one of the 2 rookies, if you will, that joined the Cubs this year, came over from the former Mets franchise.
Anytime you can add players with experience in the league, you're always going to benefit, even if they are the rookies on your own team, which I'm sure they don't like carrying the bags out to the parking lot afterwards.
Especially the Hello Kitty bags. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's in there on the outside corner, strike 2, and the count is full.
See Stewart winding up there, making sure maybe a little indecisive, or maybe he just wants to make sure he can get anything, especially on those breaking pitches.
Here's the 3-2.
Ball 4.
High and away, ball 4, and that is going to walk in the first run of the game for the Cubs.
And right now in a situation like this, Lowen, oh, there we go. We got some action going on. Just give him a little talk, calm down, take a little bit of a walk, get your breather in.
I'm surprised they didn't do this couple batters earlier, actually, just to give him take a breather, a little calm down. He's not missing by too much. But at the moment, 4 straight walks, and it's a 1-0 Cub lead. Nobody out here in the first.
As you see with any pitcher in any division, in any league, in any age bracket, there's always one thing that can throw you out of whack, and maybe that's just it. Maybe they're just assuring him, you know what, your arm's right there, just keep on following through, that step, that foot forward, and all that other stuff that pitchers need to kind of remember yet forget at the same time.
I'm sure they chatted with him, say, hey, give us a pop-up, give us a ground ball, we'll get out of this. So here's Phil Chan with the bases loaded. 1-0 for the Cubs. We're here in the top of the first at Q Park. Cubs versus Blue Jays. A division action. First pitch to Chan. Ball 1. A little low, that's ball 1.
Chan was the team's offensive MVP last year, so I'm pretty sure he's going to put on a little good bat-to-ball action right now.
Well, he's off to a good start this year, batting .560. 5 RBIs. He's also taken 9 walks, has an on-base percentage of .800, so this guy knows how to get on base. 1 ball, 1 strike to Phil Chan. Lowen's got his sign, and here's the pitch. There's a ground ball and a base hit into left field. Zone scores. Here comes Hand. Here's the throw. It's offline. He's going to score, and it's a 2 RBI single for Phil Chan and a 3-0 Cubs lead.
Again, showing right there his bat, why he's batting .560, why he was the offensive MVP, and one of the key things, strikeouts low. He always puts bats to ball, and that's what he did right there.
Found the hole between second and third, and it's a 3-0 lead for the Cubs here in the top of the first. That'll bring up John Bassett. Swings and rips one foul down the third base side.
Bassett, again, another one of the good hitters. .417. There's a couple guys on this lineup who are all north of 400 batting mark here. He's got 10 for 24, and he's also scored 6 out of the 10 times that he's got a hit, which is good. You want to make sure not only you're getting on, but that your team can help you get around.
Lowen gets a new ball. He's on the mound. Got his sign, and here's the 1 strike pitch to Bassett. Swings and fouls that back, and Lowen's ahead 0-2.
More of the off-speed stuff by Lowen right there, and you know what? Maybe he's just found it right now. Maybe he's getting to go after those pitches and force it in play like you were saying.
Here's the 2 strike pitch to Bassett. Down and away, ball 1. Good waste pitch on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bringing ball up and in. That evens the count at 2-2.
Just making sure the batter's paying attention there. That's all you want out of that pitch.
Maybe get him off the plate a bit. Comebacks. Line drive, base hit into left field. Stewart will move to third, and that will reload the bases for the Cubs.
After taking those 2 pitches right there, he was locked in looking for it, and he just puts it right in that spot, right in front of the left fielder there, where he's not going to be able to move and just has to play it off the hop to advance the runners.
Might have gone to the well one too many times with that pitch, and unfortunately not going to be Jeff's night, and they are going to go make a pitching change here in the first. And that's tough. Sometimes you don't get off to that start you want, and you know what? The 4 walks to kick off the game put you in a hole that is tough for any pitcher at any level to get out of.
It's one of those things you're going to have to shake it off. You always need a short memory in this one, but like you said, you can't start off with 4 walks and expect to not only last on the mound, but keep your team in the game that early. They got to minimize the damage right here with him. Can't catch the number at the moment, but with him coming in right now, try and get that for you.
Geraldo Yanoa is on the mound now for the Jays. The line for Lowen is 3 runs, 4 walks, 2 hits. Did not record an out. Again, tough start. Sometimes that is the way it goes. Might have been a little nervous, too, in Rogers' broadcast here for his first time.
With all the people out here, and of course one of these games for the Jays where they want to have a good showing, not just because the TV cameras rolling, but because you're playing one of those top contenders in the league. Maybe everyone was just trying to, or maybe Lowen was just trying to throw a little extra on every pitch there, and that might have cost him.
Maybe a little bit too fine, but number 58, Geraldo Yanoa, I know he was an all-star this year for the Blue Jays. Born and raised in the Dominican Republic, been playing baseball pretty much since he could walk, is what we were told before the game.
You always like these liner notes that are made by the team. Of course, they want to emphasize the greatness of the players, and he's been playing baseball obviously a long time, which we're about to see right now, especially what he can do on the mound.
So here we go. He's got his warm-up pitches. He's ready to go. We are in the top of the first inning here at Q Park. The Cubs have a 3-0 lead. They have the bases loaded, and Donnie Burke stepping into the plate.
One of the things to look for here, he likes to knock in a lot of runs. 7 on the year, 7 RBIs for Brooke.
Here's the first pitch. A little high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball to second. Sarah goes to second for 1. On to first. In time for the double play for the 4-6-3. Stewart scores on the play to make it 4-0. But just like that on the ground ball, and there's 2 away. Great double play turn there by the Jays.
That's exactly what the Jays wanted. That can get them going and stop the bleeding, so to speak, at least in this inning. And that's what you wanted. You wanted that quick feet movement, and you wanted that quick throw back to first to grab the second out.
Here was the base hit by Bassett earlier, line drive to left. Well, that was a great double play by the Jays. Sarah to Carlson to Baker. The old 4-6-3, and there's 2 down. And that brings up Mark Hickman. Takes that pitch low in the dirt. Good block there by the Jays catcher, number 22, Eric Branning. Runner at third, that saved the run. 2 down here in the first, 4-0 Cubs. Jays looking to get out of this. There's the 1-0 pitch from Yanoa. A little high, ball 2.
Is working around the strike zone, but he's looking to hit. He's close, and that's what you want. You want to try and get the Cubs going after some of the pitches that they shouldn't.
That pitch is in there. Strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to Mark Hickman. And that pitch is by him, and it gets back to the backstop. Here comes Chan. And that is a costly wild pitch. 5th run of the inning for the Cubs.
Down 5-0 early, but they got the 2 outs. But again, it's early on, so they can easily try and hit their way out of this when they get the 3rd out, and they can just regroup in the dugout, take a collective breath, and everything should all be good in the baseball world.
Here's the 3-1 pitch to Hickman. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Got to think he was just looking fastball the entire time there, and when that came in, his eyes just lit up, just slightly under that one.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Just low. And another walk given to Cubs here, and that's going to bring up number 6, Adam Bruce.
Adam, of course, 2nd-year player on this team with his brother Drew as well. They are both playing on the team. Both successful, obviously, after the championships that we have mentioned.
Throw over by Yanoa. Hickman gets back. Keeping him honest over there. Yanoa looks in, he's got his sign. And here's the first pitch to Bruce. That's in there for strike 1.
Right where the catcher threw the glove. Not sure what he was looking for there, but you know what? You see it, you get the next one.
Breaking ball just misses a little high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Adam Bruce of the Cubs. We're here in the top of the first. 5-0 for the Cubs. Swing and fouled back. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Again, working around the plate, really forcing the issue, forcing the batters to swing after the 1 to 5 batters got the easy passes there with not a lot of the strikes, not a lot of the balls in the strike zone there, and really forcing the issue to get these guys off kilter.
Well, you hit the nail on the head there. They've got to start pounding that zone. Try not to be a little too fine, and the defense proved earlier. Put the ball in play and let us make the plays behind you. Here's the 1-2 pitch. just misses outside. You could see that Bruce was tempted by it, but held off. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count. Swing and fouled back by Bruce. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count. 2 down here in the top of the first. 5-0 Cubs.
That was a good pitch there, and you always, when you're out there in the field, you always don't like those spoil pitches. They get off there, your pitcher, you see it go in. It's one of those great ones. They get a piece of it. He's got to do it all over again. It's got to upset you a little bit, especially considering the start they've had.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
There you heard from Joel Gloom. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down here in the first. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swing and chopped off the top of the plate. Picked by Branning, thrown to first. Baker's got it, and the first inning has come to an end. For the Cubs, 5 runs on just 2 hits, and they leave a man. We're going to head to the bottom of the first. It's the Cubs 5 and the Blue Jays coming to bat. We're in the bottom of the first. It's the Cubs and Blue Jays doing battle. A-division action here on Rogers TV. And the Cubs had a big first inning, scored 5 runs on just 2 hits, a lot of walks. Starter Jeff Lowen just couldn't find the strike zone there, Brandon.
No, it's difficult always to start out like that, but you know what? The team brought in Yona afterwards, got him into a double, got the Cubs to ground out into a double play and helped turn the tide there. So you know what? That inning's done. It's over. You got to move on from it. You just can't, think about what could have been if those walks weren't there.
For the Cubs on the mound, Mark Kachuk pitching to Rory Soames.
Kachuk's got one of the better records on this team as a 3-0 pitcher, putting in well over 12 innings of work. He's only showed up in the 4 games, but clearly he can go from 1 to 4 and not have an issue.
1.75 ERA, a whip of just 1.25 is getting the job done. See if the Jays can get back into this early here. Here's Kenneth Branning to lead it off. Keith Branning, sorry. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
We're talking about earlier with the leadoff man, and there's a lot of speed here with Branning. He's got 10 stolen bases, tied for the team lead right now, so he can definitely, if he's on, he's a threat right there.
Takes that pitch in at the knees for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes, and Kachuk working quickly and working ahead here in the first. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, hit on the ground. Played by Stewart at first. He's going to run, dive for the bag at first, and make the play.
Stewart takes himself, gets that dive ender to assure of it. Not necessarily sure it was necessary, but you always got to make sure you get the sure out, especially, again, with a guy like Branning's speed, which we talked about.
It was a great effort. I'm pretty sure something being on TV had something to do with that, but I'll give him a 6.5 on the dive and a great put out. Here's Cliff Truman for the Blue Jays. Swing and a miss.
Truman, a local Mississauga boy, grew up playing well before Mississauga South was actually collected. He was part of the Clarkson baseball organization, which of course had Sheridan and Arundel before they all amalgamated.
Truman rips this, and a line drive base hit to left field. And the Cubs get their first base runner of the ball game.
You know, waiting on the pitch, right off the end of the bat, puts it into left field, and that's how you get on. Just like that, and from this is what the Jays want. They want the base runners, they want to move them around, and they want to get back in the game. That's a good start right there.
Here's the pitcher, Geraldo Yanoa. Geraldo this year off to a good start at the plate, batting .412. He's got 5 RBIs, an OPS of .853. Swings and drills this down the left field line, but it is going to hook foul, and that was a rocket.
That's what you wanted right there. He found his pitch, got a little jumpy. He was going to straighten that one out.
Here's a look at Truman's line drive base hit to left. Hit his head down, drove right through the ball. Very nice swing. So let's see what Yanoa does after that first long strike one.
Where he goes.
There goes Truman. There's Soanes' throw. It's high, and Truman's in there with a stolen base. I like that aggressiveness. Even though they're down 5-0, got some speed on the base pass. Make the Cubs make the play.
9 stolen bases of the season right there. You know, maybe something that wasn't necessarily in the back of the mind, thinking that, you know what, he wasn't going to go, but there, he just takes off, puts himself in a better position, especially if Nola can get that ball in play.
So Yanoa's going to try to cash him in now. Here's the pitch from Tkachuk. And that's high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yanoa looking to pick up his 6th RBI of the year here. Breaking ball up and away. That evens the count at 2-2. Pitch throwback there, got away from Markian, but no damage done. Didn't get too far away for Truman to advance.
A little bit surprised at that one, given Truman's speed. He was already on his way back to the base, though, but you stick around a little bit out there, you maybe take a quick break and force them to go.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Yanoa. In there for strike 3.
Noah called up, not going to cash in that one, but you know what? That's a learning lesson. Every at-bat is a learning experience. So what he's got to take from that one? Well, straighten out that first pitch and protect the plate, obviously.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, that pitch way too close to take with 2 strikes on you. Here's Steve Carlson for the Blue Jays. Steve this year, big left-handed stick. Steve, another Blue Jays All-Star this past season, takes the first pitch down for ball 1. That pitch is fouled at the plate. Evens the count at 1-1.
You know, Steve is more known for his defense out there than his bat, which is why one of the things that Sarah was talking about earlier. It's a better defensive team, better talent-wise. But you know what? You're looking to add with every stick you have in your hand, and this is one of those times.
Steve off to a bit of a slow start with a 208 average, but a dangerous batter for sure. He takes that pitch down in the dirt. Truman bluff going to short. Good block there by Soanes. 2 balls and a strike here to Steve Carlson. We're in the bottom of the first at Q Park. Cubs leading at the moment 5-0 against the Blue Jays. Steve hits this ball down to first. Kind of handcuffs Stewart. Markian covers on the play, and they get him. Nice recovery there by Mike Stewart. Markian Tkachuk over for the cover. And that'll end the first for the Blue Jays. No runs, a hit, a runner left. And after 1 here at Q Park, it's the Cubs up early, 5-0, Brennan. And again, I'm sure not to start the Jays we're looking for, but I'm sure they're going to bear down here and hopefully have a quick inning, get back to the sticks, and put up a couple runs, get back in this ball game.
That's exactly what you want. You know, they got out of that one and complete now. The first inning is done. So moving on, it's a fresh new ball game. Yeah, you know what? You're still down in a hole, but you make them quick, you make them efficient, you get right back in the groove of it, and things can happen and change. And again, with Nola on the mound right now, pretty good pitcher we've seen in relief of that first inning. So now, given that he's got a fresh start, he started his own pace, it'll be a little bit different and better for the Blue Jays in this one.
Good point. You know, he gets to start off the second inning, nobody on base, start off fresh, a clean slate, and you know, he needs to be effective here. They need a couple of strong innings out of him and some chance to get back to the at bats and put some runs on the board and get back in this game. You know, 5-0. It's you know, it's a hole, but it's not the end of the world at the moment.
It's not, but you always got to wonder, you know, if the pitcher can handle it. You know, they always say they want to go out there and play, but you want to basically create your own mess. You don't really want to help out someone else's, is what most of the pitchers tell me, other than get behind the plate. And I had to clean that one up right there.
It's like I got my own problems. All right. But a beautiful night here for baseball at Q Park. Sun is out, a little bit of a breeze. The heat wave has gone away here from Mississauga in the past few days, but a beautiful night for ball nonetheless.
There we see some final words of encouragement for the pitcher there, which I'm pretty sure is just throw it down the middle. Put it in play. We're here for you.
Like you said, they proved that back in the first inning. 2 ground balls. They got 3 outs out of it. So here's the pitcher for the Cubs, Markian Tkachuk. He'll lead it off. Cubs looking to add to their already lead of 5-0. We're here in the top of the second. There's the first pitch. And in there for strike one, and that's important to get ahead early here.
He was looking for that one. He got the one. Now he can be a little restful at ease. He can play with a pitch or two right now.
Breaking ball down and away. Markian didn't offer at it. Evens the count at 1-1.
You know, Markin right now is in a rare position. He's an RBI guy. No one's on. Wonder what that does to a batter.
Breaking ball misses up high. 2 balls and a strike. So the Blue Jays this year in the MMBL adopted the new Blue Jay uniforms. That pitch down and away. 3 balls and a strike.
They're nice, clean uniforms, and I got to say, throughout the entire league, we got a very fresh look in this league.
The guys take pride in how they look, no doubt about that. And that pitch is blown away, and that's going to be another leadoff walk here for the Cubs. Not what the Jays wanted, I'm sure, to start off the second inning.
You know, he was ahead 0-1 there, so losing him hurts just that much more.
And what you see now is as Markian reaches base in the MMBL, you're allowed 2 courtesy runners for 2 players that are either getting a little older in age or suffering from an injury. So in this case, Markian has one, and it's going to be the last recorded out that'll run for him in this case, number 6, Adam Bruce. So here's number 35, Graham Smith. Bruce on his way to second base, and he's going to make it easy. And that ball gets by Sarah into center field, but Bruce is going to hold up.
You know, Bruce not known for running. They don't really do a lot of that, but he took off on the pitch right there, forced the catcher, and thankfully, off that little bit of a wild throw, didn't get third off that one.
Yeah, I'm going to call shenanigans on the Cubs stats here because the fact that they only have no stolen bases on this team, I don't buy.
There are a couple of teams, however, they would be in the B and C division who can actually elate to that.
And Bruce breaks for third. Here's the throw. And he's in there. I've played them enough to know how many times they've stolen bases on us. The fact that their sheet says no is a falsity. I'll have to talk with Mr. Goodfellow about that. And there's Bruce. You can see him beating that tag easily.
That was a good pickup with that ball in the dirt, though. One of those tough hops.
That pitch is in there for strike 2.
Big swooping breaking ball right there. Catches that outside.
So Smith looking to cash in Bruce here in the second. Pitch from Yanoa. Just misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Graham Smith.
Couple hits on the year for Smith. Obviously, with a runner on third and no outs, you're looking to bring him in. You want to put on the right side of the plate, right side of the field, which is not as easy as it sounds.
Here's the 2-2. Swing, and he pops this up foul and out of play. I believe off the Rogers truck behind us.
One of the fun parts about this diamond is when you leave the vehicles too close. Well,
That's
maybe
right.
not necessarily fun for the vehicle owner, but everyone gets a good laugh out of that.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Smith. That pitch is a fastball up high, and that's going to load. So it's going to make it a full count.
Trying to get the batter to chase there, but a good plate discipline. Always that trick on 2 strikes. You always want to try and huck it a little high, try and get the guy to go swing at it being eye level.
3-2 pitch, and he pops this up, foul, and out of play.
More free souvenirs here.
I don't think they have that kind of budget. I think they got to give those back. Looking to get the first out of the inning here. Bruce at third, nobody out. It's a 5-0 Cubs lead here in the top of the second. And here's the 3-2 pitch to Smith. Swings and pops this up.
This one looking in play.
And that is also out of play. They're running out of foul ball. They're running out of balls here quickly.
3 straight pitches, fouled back, out of play. What are you looking for as a pitcher right now? Because you want to make sure you get him going, but he's locked into everything that you've been throwing right now.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, again, though, you don't want to put another runner on. He's got to believe he's going to get a strike, something he can handle here. He's got to be ready for it. And there it was. Lines it back to the mound. Nice catch by Yanoa, one away.
Off the end of the bat, straight to the pitcher, quick reflexes, and looks over to 3 to keep him there.
Was hoping to catch Bruce sleeping at third, but he was well aware and close to the bag. And there it is, lined right back. Great reflex by Yanoa, like you mentioned, Brandon. Took a look at third. One away. Big out.
Again, those are the skills you only get by playing baseball since you start to walk.
Here's Mike Rowley. He'll take a fastball up and away, ball 1.
New batter, new game plan, starting outside, but he's going to work his way in, give him into a false bit of security.
Rowley swings and fouls that back. Rowley, one of the 4 Cubs that have been here the entire time. This is their 8th season. One of 4 guys, including, of course, player captain Ryan Goodfellow, Marky Kachuk, the pitcher, and Rory Stones, the catcher. All 4 of these guys, the original Cubs. Breaking ball misses upstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
You always have a bunch of kids that you grew up with that you're always playing, and even as adults, you have it right here. And that's one of the best parts about the MMBL here. You make a lot of friends, and you stick around.
Another pitch up and away, and that's going to run the count to 3 balls and a strike.
If you're just going to say, if you take note of his jersey, though, he is the dirtiest kid on the team. Not even OxyBrite can help him.
High in ball 4, and another walk issued here to the Cubs. And you know what? This goes back to what we said. The veteran presence they have, they will make you throw strikes, and when you throw strikes, they will hit them.
They're just sitting and waiting. They know the pitcher's getting in trouble, being a little wild, maybe being a little too cute, and they're just going to wait for theirs. You got to force it to them and make them make the play.
So here's player manager Ryan Goodfellow. Nickname on the team apparently Stud. Throw over by Yanoa to first, back goes Rowley.
Was he there, though, when we were asking? Because that might have been one of those, I still want to bat up in the lineup, coach. Looking for the pickoff there at third. Oh, nope, looks like he got the balk on that one.
Yeah, problem being there is, for those of you that don't know, the third baseman has to be in the region of the bag. Usually they say within a step or so. He was nowhere near it, and so when a step to the bag to throw it, there was no player there.
Yeah.
You can see the step, and what we can't see at the moment, that the third baseman was not really holding the runner to the bag, and that you can't do.
Well, looking for the discussion there, of course. You got Mark Monterski at third base. He's a very tall individual, long legs, so you kind of figure, he's got the reach. He's close enough, but umpire says no, obviously.
As basically, for those of you that don't know what a balk is, basically it's any movement by the pitcher that is to deceive the runner. You're not allowed to do that. And in that case there, that was illegal. So again, Brandon, we talked about it. The 7 walks so far have come back to kill the Blue Jays at this point.
All the way back around, just that quickly.
6-0 right now for the Cubs as a score, and they have just 2 hits. Definitely the difference in the game to date.
They always say the leadoff walk's always going to hurt you, and so far they've gone 2 for 2 in that in 2 innings.
It's a good fellow. Up pitches up. Ball and a strike. 1 down here in the top of the second. Is set. Delivers. Swing and a miss by Goodfellow. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Took a rip at that one.
Chasing high right there. Looks like Nola put a little more on that pitch just to get it up and around.
Little step-off move there by to make sure Roley wasn't going anywhere.
Attempted pickoff there. You see the roll. There's a couple different ways you can do that. You just step right off the rubber. You got your spin move like that.
It's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and line into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Roley around third. He's going to score. And Stud Goodfellow delivers with an RBI single and the 7th run of the ballgame for the Cubs.
13th RBI of the season right there for the player coach, and you know what? That just sets up. If your top guy is your top guy, and especially when you have a player coach, that's very difficult to have in this league, but if he's playing to the top of his game, it makes everybody else want to do that much more.
You can see a fastball in the outer half, stayed right on it, used the hands, and just flared that into center field. And that's how the veterans get the RBIs, just like that. Don't try to do too much with it. Take what the pitcher gives you, and just like that, with only 3 hits, it's a 7-0 Cub lead.
Throw over to third to check, make sure he touched the bag. Obviously, umpire says yes.
Umpire Joel Goom saying that yes, he did step on the bag on his way home. So we're back to the top of the order. Here's Andrew Bruce. He walked and scored back in the first inning. Takes a fastball there for strike 1.
Bruce again adding to his .533 on base with that walk, and of course helping the team out with the 1 run scored.
Breaking ball misses out and away. Ball and a strike to Andrew Bruce. Left-handed batter, center fielder for the Cubs. A lot of speed at the top of the Cub order. There's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and fouled back. A ball and 2 strikes.
Looking to take a good hack right there, but kind of looked like he was trying to delay it, force it to left field. Maybe should just go with it right now, given the lead that they do have.
Goodfellow takes his lead at first. What's got his sign. Here's the pitch. Curveball swing and flied into left center field. On the run. Not going to get this. That's over his head and off the wall in center. Goodfellow on his way to third. They're going to wave him home. Here's the relay throw. It's up the line. Goodfellow's going to score. It's an RBI double for Andrew Bruce. And the Cubs continue to pile on. It's now 8-0.
Got the pitch he was looking for. Looked like a little up, but he takes a very good hack at it right here and just sends it flying. Head down and run as it goes off the wall. And Goodfellow from first all the way to home.
He was picking them up and putting them down, as we say. Scoring all the way from first. You can see Bruce with the heads up, seeing that throw go through. I retreated back to second. So that's going to bring up Rory Soanes with 1 out here in the second. Bruce at second base. Soanes swings and fouls that back.
Out of play, another one of those temporary souvenirs, I suppose.
His balls aren't worth anything.
Right now you got to wonder how Yona is going to settle down here. Obviously, again, go back to them being in the hole, starting early. He didn't help himself early on in this inning.
Little step off just to take a look again.
And there's a difference between the third and second. When he had his block, the third baseman has to be near. This one is kind of more of a freestanding.
No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Rory Soanes. Rory also walked in the first and scored. 0-2 swing and a miss. Nice block there by Branning to pick it up. Soames is gone, and there's 2 down, and that's a big strikeout for the Blue Jays.
He set that one up with the pitch earlier, was really inside, and this one he drops it early, and he gets him to chase, thinking that maybe if it stays up, it's coming inside, so he's got to go around on that pitch.
Again, nice job there by Branning, nice block. 2 down, and that's going to bring up the big man, Adam Hand, who also walked and scored back in the first inning. 2 down, the Cubs have an 8-0 lead. That pitch is ripped foul down the first base line. Has been doing a good job of getting ahead of the hitters. Just some trouble now, just putting them away when he gets up on them. There's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss upstairs by Hand, and that's 0-2.
Again, the upstairs fastball, which hitters really like because it's right at your eye level. You always think you can crack it, and Hand's one of those guys who could do it.
Break after this or no? Breaking ball just misses outside. A ball and 2 strikes.
Got a couple pitches to play with here, but the best thing to do would still be go after the batter.
Fastball swing. Hammered to center field. This ball's back. Way back. And you can kiss it goodbye. Home run for number 25, Adam Hand.
3rd home run of the season, 11th RBI on the season. And you know what? I just said you should go after the batter. That's unfortunately what can happen. But in a situation like this, I still say that's probably what he should have done. But Hand puts it way back behind the fence.
He got all that to the deepest part of the park in dead center field. Here's a look at it. That fastball is up, and he gets all of it, and he knew it.
Impressive power as he takes his lead foot out, and as they say, he stepped into the bucket. It wasn't one of those fluid motions. He fought it and took it.
You can see him taking his gloves off as he was making his way down the line. He knew he got that one. Two-run homer for Hand. It's 2 down here in the first, and that brings up Mike Stewart.
Yona again starts, first pitch strike, going after the batter, making sure he gets up in the count.
Breaking ball just misses upstairs, evens the count at 1-1. Well, the Jays are in a hole now, Brandon.
It's a big hole. It is.
Another breaking ball. Stewart swings and misses through that one. A ball and 2 strikes. But again, a big hole, but not impossible to climb out of.
It's not impossible. In the way that Yona's pitching, yes, he just got dinged for a home run, but his pitches are getting the good movement on him, and he's actually finding the plate a lot better than he did earlier in the game.
Here's the 1-2 pitch from Geraldo Yanoa. Breaking ball, swing, and popped up in foul territory. Branning over, and it's going to fall in between him and the third baseman, and that can't happen.
Opportunity lost right there, not what the Jays want. Of course, Brennan fighting the sun as he comes over, hearing the footsteps from Mike Matkarski. Going to be one of those names all night long for me right there. And you don't want to collide with your team, but you want to make sure you get the ball there. They did neither.
When you got both of them going after the ball like that, the pitcher's got to kind of help them out, be the general as to who's got the best shot at that ball. So a second life for Stewart. Another fastball. He swings and fouls that straight back. A ball and 2 strikes.
Interesting how he comes with a curveball and then tries to come with the fastball, trying to set him up, and he's got to make sure he just hits the spot in this one.
Little off speed pitch there. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the second has mercilessly come to an end. For the Cubs, 5 more runs. Again, on just 3 hits, Brandon. We go to the home half of the second. Blue Jays coming up. It's the Cubs 10, Jays nothing. Well, welcome back to Q Park here on MMBL Action on Rogers TV. We are in the bottom of the second inning. The second place Cubs have gone off here early on. They sport a 10-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second. Jays coming up.
That last inning, of course, capped off by Adam Hand and his home run here.
The two-run shot to dead center. You can see he got all of it there. Brandon, the glove started coming off. That was a no-doubter by the big man.
One of those swings that a guy like him can pull off.
So leading off the second as the Jays try to get back into this is Marco Serra, player manager. Takes that pitch outside, ball one.
Serra, of course, a veteran in the league, his 11th season in MMBL ball.
Takes that pitch up and in, ball two. The Jays fans here trying to get their team rallied, get them back into this ball game. 2-0 count to Serra. Marky Tkachuk on the mound for the Cubs. Here's the pitch. Serra swings and fouls that back. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, it's not surprising, again, with his longevity here, how long he's been a player manager, both when he was formerly known as the Marlins and now, of course, as the Jays. He's a big offensive guy on this team and one of those fire starters, should we say, to get the party going.
Well, they need him to fire one up here. Takes that pitch up and in. 3 balls and a strike. They need him to get on base any way he can at this point.
Looking for the walk, it's just as good as a hit sometimes.
3-1 pitch, down and away, and Serra draws the leadoff walk.
And there it is, Serra on base right now, leadoff guy, and we've seen what the Cubs did with both leadoff batters on base right away. Let's see if the Jays can capitalize on this one, get a couple back on the board for themselves to help them out.
Well, yeah, they got to start to chip away, get back into this. Here's number 91, Dave Rabello. Dave swings and misses at that one, strike one.
Serra takes second on the pass ball there, off the swing. Rabello, interesting enough, look at the build on him. You'd never guess that he was a former pro wrestler. He had to retire in 2005 due to injuries, but he picks up the bat and ball, and here he is.
I'm sure he might be looking for a pitch here to try to duplicate what the Cubs' big man Adam Hand did just an inning ago. It's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and fouls that back and out of play. So Tkachuk, after walking Serra, gets ahead quickly here, 0-2 on Rabello.
Rabello, of course, a free swinger, as we saw those first 2 pitches. He's really trying to lock into one and just let everything go. He puts, bat to ball he wants, and that's what he's really looking for here. Got a guy on 2, just put in play.
No balls and 2 strikes to Rabello. Chuck checks the runner, and here's the pitch. Breaking ball up and away, ball 1.
Not free swinging that one, obviously. Got a pair of eyes on him as well. You don't want to hit yourself into trouble, of course. So you want to make sure that if you're going to put it on the ground or just bloop it in.
Pitch, that ball's hit into center field. Bruce going back. He's got a beat on it, and he's there. Serra's going to tag from second, and he's on his way to third, and he's in there. But a long, long fly ball out in front of the 338 sign for Dave Rabello. It's a sac fly, and there's 1 down.
Here it is, a good swing. Comparison to Hand, his lead foot goes straight forward to get all that power. But you know what? Didn't have enough on that one as, again, he chose to go to the center of the diamond.
He'd yank that down the line here where it's a very short porch at Q Park down the right and left field lines. But he went to the farthest part of the park and just fell short. So here's Utica Forrester for the Blue Jays with 1 down. Runner at third. Jays looking to break through and get on the board. Takes that pitch, strike 1 on the outside corner.
Unica has a very interesting nickname. He's called Pesto by his team, but no one can tell you why he's named Pesto.
Those are usually the best nicknames when you don't know why. Breaking ball, swing and fouls that straight back, and Tkachuk again after that leadoff walk, quickly ahead 0-2 on the next 2 hitters.
You know, Forrester can get on base, whether it's by bat or by walk. He's sporting 8 hits and 5 walks, so he's always going to be a threat, and he's got some speed out there too. So if he can get the ball in play or even get on, he's going to create some havoc out there.
Markian working from the full. Here's the pitch. Curveball swing, and he pops this foul. Graham Smith over by our camera lady, and apparently she's all right. I heard her ask her that.
Always got to check and make sure everyone's all right on the ball diamond. You don't want any careless injuries.
2 weeks. We're
So the count will remain no balls and 2 strikes on Unica Forrester. Marco Serra at third, 1 down here in the second. The Jays looking to get on the board and start chipping away at that 10-0 Cubs lead. That pitch, a swing lined into right center field. Rowley's there. He's got it. He comes up throwing. Serra tags. He's going to score. And the Blue Jays are on the board here at Q Park. It's 10-1.
That is a perfect hit in that scenario. Obviously, you got a runner on third. You want to cash him in. You need every run at this point. And just goes the other way. Goes with the pitch right here, as you can see. Just takes it to right field. He knows he's off. He knows whether it's caught or not that runner's going to score.
Nice play by Rowley. Throws it in, but not enough to beat the speed of Marco Serra. And the Jays are on the board. It's 10-1. And here's Jason Gaitan. He's going to attempt at a bunt there, and as you saw the third baseman playing back. Again, at this point, down by 9 runs, get on base any way you can.
You know, Jason is one of the guys that the team needs. He had a very good bat last year. Started off slow, starting to find it right now, and this is a good time to keep it going.
Swings and fouls that back. No balls and 2 strikes on Jason Gaitan. Nick Euler on deck for the Jays.
Growing trend, like you've been saying. 0-2 counts nice and early on every batter here after that first walk.
You don't realize I got a 10-run lead. I'm going to pound the zone and make them beat me. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball swing and fouled back.
A lot of times pitchers will get into trouble overthinking and making sure they want to hit their spots when in reality, you know, if you trust your defense, put it down the middle. Let the batter put it in play and just trust your defense to make the plays for you. Any out is a good out.
Takes that pitch down and in. A ball and 2 strikes. Pitch takes it on the outer half for strike 3 and the end of the inning. But the Jays break through. They got on the board a run on no hits, no errors, and nobody left.
Here we go. Look at it. It was a late or delayed call by the umpire there. And, yeah, that would give someone a little bit of a second out, but caught enough of the black.
So we've played 2 here at Q Park. It's the Cubs 10, the Blue Jays 1. And I think what's, you know, more telling, Brandon, at this point more than anything else is you look at the score, it's 10-1 after 2 innings. But the Cubs have only out-hit the Jays 5-1. That's the big thing. The 7 walks so far by Blue Jay pitching has done them in. They haven't made any errors. It's been the walks. And, you know, you give another team 7 walks, any league, any level, no matter what, that's going to hurt you.
In this league, you know, from A division down to C, or like you said, anywhere you play, if you're going to give them the free pass, it's going to come back to haunt you, and that's exactly what you do not want. But they got in trouble early. Again, it's how you're going to build from it, get out of the hole that you guys created, and hopefully, you know, they'll go this inning without a walk. Again, get up early on the batter, put yourself in a good position, and pound the zone at this point. You don't want to do anything too fancy, and you know what? I think Jonas settled in right here because, as I mentioned, his pitch is getting a little better and a little better as he gets back into the groove.
And, you got to wonder who the Jays have next to go because there is a 4-inning limit per pitchers here in the MMBL, and obviously they expected Jeff Lowen to go longer than not recording it out in the first inning, bringing in Yanoa then. So obviously the Jays must have somebody else lined up. We're not sure who that's going to be, but they're going to have to get somebody else ready if Yanoa falters at all here. But like you mentioned, so far he's been in and around the plate, been pounding the zone. Got to continue to do that. Make the Cubs beat you. Make any team beat you. You give them those free passes, and you're just asking for trouble.
You know, we talk about the A division. You got to bring the batting, you got to bring the pitching, and you got to bring the defense. In scenarios like this, you got to have the team ready to go, and you got to have your plan Bs and your plan Cs. You never know when you're going to have a bad night in baseball, but you always got to be prepared and thinking ahead.
So here we go. We'll move to the top of the third. Phil Chan's going to lead it off. Had a 2 RBI single back in the first inning and scored on a wild pitch in that 5-run Cubs first. Takes the first pitch for ball one.
Dropping that curveball there. Again, we've seen it up, we've seen it down, and we've seen it touch both sides of the plate. He's got full control of that, and he wanted him to go after that pitch.
Chan swings, hits that to third, and it gets through. Jeff Lowen at third, and that's going to be an error.
You know, whether it's walks or in this case reach on air, another free pass, and you got to see what the Cubs will do with it. And you got to see how the Jays want to shut this down. This is the guy that you didn't want on any means necessary, but he found a way to get through.
Definitely a hard hit ball, but a ball that anyone will tell you that they should have come up with. So that's official score on that's going to be an E5, and that's going to bring up John Bassett. Also 1 for 1 at a single back in the first. Throws over. Checks on Chan. First pitch to Bassett is down and away. Ball one, good stop by Branning.
Catcher's always got to be mobile. You never know what your pitcher's going to throw.
Pitch is in there for strike one.
Toss down to first, just checking on Chan, making sure he's awake out there, making sure that his players are awake as well, because worst thing is if you throw that into the outfield, you're standing there looking like, what did I do?
There goes Chan. The pitch is down, the throw down by Branning. Chan just beats it.
Chan just beats it, but that was a great throw by Branning. That was in the dirt. He had to pick it up and go in full motion to throw that down to two. Short hops, but like you said, just close enough for Chan to get in there.
Nice pick by Truman. Applied the tag a little late. Again, with that spin move, taking a look, keeping him honest. One pitch to Bassett is outside. Ball two.
Taking a unique approach here as he put two in the dirt and one outside, almost trying to stay away from the batter.
2-1 pitch is fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to John Bassett of the Cubs.
As mentioned, Bassett, one of the guys well over 400 on their batting average and always a threat with the stick in his hand.
A set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball upstairs. There's a 3-2 pitch. And that's going to be ball 4. And another walk. And Brandon, we talked about it. Those free passes continue to kill.
2 here in this inning to add on to the totals now, which has reached double digits, just like the runs for the Cubs. And you know what? A quick ground ball here can erase a lot of that.
I mean, this is a team that's been in the finals 6 to 7 years. They don't need your help. So here's Donnie Burke. He bounced into the 4-6-3 double play in the first.
The bright spot for the Jays there, but I'm sure the Cubs are going to remember this one, and he's going to remember this one, making sure he doesn't do it again. 2 on, no outs. You want to make sure you at least move the runners over.
Burke, another former Met, came over here with Mike Stewart. Curveball, lined up the middle, base hit. Chan is around third. He's going to score. Here's Carlson's throw, not in time. It's cut off at the mound. And an RBI single for Donnie Burke, and the Cubs continue to add on. It's now 11-1.
Burke takes the swing, goes right up the middle. He's able to get 1 run in, obviously. Chan motoring all the way from second, forcing the throw down. Good relay, but just short.
Now to bring up Mark Hickman. He walked back in the first inning.
Familiar territory, first, second, no outs again.
Pitch down and away, ball 1 to Hickman. Good fastball there, swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1.
Picks the ball back up, gets him swinging on that one. If I'm a betting man, I'm saying this is going curve in the dirt.
1-1 pitch. It was a curveball. Hit it to short. There's the play at second. And they're calling the run out at second. They're saying Cliff Truman dropped the ball as he was transferring the ball out of his glove to throw it to first. So the out was there, says umpire Harold Cuffey.
Runners now first and third, and like you're talking about, lost it on the transfer, meaning he held it long enough to hold the play, which would be the out at second, while he was trying to look for that double play, which we saw in the first inning from the Jays.
So Hickman will reach on the fielder's choice, put out 6-4 on that play. And that's going to bring up Adam Bruce, who is 0 for 1. Grounded out to the catcher, Branning, back in the first. You can see the play there. Good play by Truman to hang on to that ball. Bruce takes that first pitch down and in for ball 1. Yanoa throws over to first to check on Hickman. At this point, 11-1, you better worry about the batters now. And again, with as many walks as they've had, Brandon, trouble throwing strikes, I think getting a little too preoccupied with the runners on base at this time.
It's odd that he's trying to look back at the guy at first. You got a runner on third right now. I know you guys are first. You don't want him to go to 2, but you really shouldn't be occupying so much of your time checking on him, especially with a potential pass ball if you're throwing it.
That's exactly it. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball upstairs. 2 balls and a strike to the Cubs, Adam Bruce.
Set up and just go home every pitch from here on out.
Pitch up and away, and it's a 3-1 count to Bruce, and in danger of yet another walk. Yanoa set. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled back by Bruce, and that's going to make it a 3-2 count.
Still no outs here. Top of the third. Again, runners on the corners. 3-2 count scenario like this, given the amount of walks, are you looking for a specific pitch? More than likely, but what are you looking for?
3-2 swing and a miss by Bruce. And there's 2 down.
And there you go, right there. He was looking for a fastball, caught on the outside, couldn't get around fast enough, but got an extra bat right now.
So 2 down here in the third. That's going to bring up pitcher Markian Tkachuk, again, one of the original Cubs, one of 4 that is still on the team. The 8-year MMBL veteran. He walked back in the second inning. Takes that curveball upstairs for ball 1.
Just watching it now, you know, he's going to do it on the mound. He's also going to do it at the plate.
Pitch from Yanoa's swung on and fouled straight back.
Again, I think at this point right now for the Cubs, you're going to just stay locked in to the fastball and look for that. Let them beat you around the corners with the curve. It seems to be they're looking just for the fastball.
And there was a curveball there, just misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. The count here on Markian Tkachuk. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball in there on the outer half. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
After checking over at first a couple batters ago, just going straight to the plate now, looks to be locked back in. Yanoa is. He looked a little bit dejected, obviously, after letting 1 run come in, but he's back in there, just mindset of a pit bull.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Markian. Fastball upstairs. They're going to ask for help on that. Did he go around? No, says base umpire Harold Cuffey. So that's going to make it a full count once again. Another 3-2 pitch. Hickman will be on the move from first with 2 out. And here's the pitch. Fastball in there for strike 3 on the outside corner. He gets him looking to end the inning. So for the...
Not sure if he was looking for a little bit of help there on that one, considering it was low, but he was very indecisive on that one, and he knows he should have gone around. Again, close pitch, you got to go.
1 more run across for the Cubs. It's unearned. They get 1 hit, and they left 2. We're going to go to the bottom of the third. We'll return here at Q Park for MMBL action. It's the Cubs leading the Jays 11-1. Welcome back to Q Park and MMBL action here on Rogers TV. We're in the home half of the third. The Blue Jays are coming up. Nick Ular is going to lead it off. They are in a bit of a hole here, Brandon. They trail the second place Cubs in the A division 11-1. And the difference in this game right now, without a doubt, the walks.
The walks, the free passes, always going to hurt you. And we saw earlier Marking on the mound. He's back out there for third inning, and he's just been dead on in the middle of the plate, forcing the Blue Jays batters to get back into this one, saying, here's the pitch, hit it. And you know what? That's what you're going to have to do at this point, down by 10.
So here's Nick Ular to lead it off for the Jays. He'll be followed by Greg Baker and Jeff Lowen. First pitch to Nick is upstairs for ball one. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Nick Ular. And we mentioned this earlier too, Brandon. Jays right now have to get on base by any means necessary.
Any means necessary does mean any means necessary, even if you have to lean in on one of those fastballs.
Pitch is in there. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, Euler was one of their top offensive guys. 405 last year. He was batting the offensive MVP, battling some injuries, but you want to get locked in, especially for a possible playoff run.
Breaking ball misses outside. 3 balls and a strike.
He's got a good eye out there, not really chasing anything, wants to stay in his comfort zone.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball line to right field. Perfectly positioned is Mike Rowley for the first out. 1 down here in the third.
Right idea, wrong result, but you know what? You take what you give you, and he took it to right field, but just not long enough right at the right fielder who didn't even have to budge to make that catch.
See the fastball up and away, goes with it, but again, perfectly positioned and right was Mike Rowley right there to make the play.
One of those feelings, you know you get a good bat on ball, but you're just standing there watching it going, oh no.
Greg Baker now up for the Blue Jays, takes first pitch strike. Batting .278 this year, 3 RBIs, struck out just 3 times. Swings and fouls that back.
Greg's a very active person, not only in this league, but does CrossFit. He's done things like Tough Mudder. You know, there's a bunch of those series running around like Warrior Dash and things like that where you're up and over barbed wire and everything. And believe it or not, he's one of the guys who likes doing that.
Digging in here, here's the 0-2 pitch. Pitch is up, ball 1.
Seeing Markin right now moving around the zone.
Takes a fastball in the outside corner. Strike 3 called. 2 down here in the third.
One of those calls, just top outside corner, and again, got to protect if it's close. But seeing Markin moving around, trying to maybe force the Jays into swinging, but that one caught him looking.
So that'll bring up the starting pitcher for tonight, number 19, Jeff Lowen for the Blue Jays with 2 down here in the third. Takes first pitch upstairs for ball 1.
You know, you might get caught up in a lot of this being adult baseball, but the guys work hard off the field. Lowen just completed his master's degree, so congratulations to that.
Takes that pitch upstairs as well. 2 balls and no strikes to Jeff Lowen. Eric Branning waiting on deck, hoping to get a shot here in the third. Swings and it's a ground ball into the hole. It's short. Nice play and a long throw to first. Not in time, and he beat it out. Nice try there by Donnie Burke, but Lowen beat it out. He went deep into the hole for that one, Brandon.
Patience at the plate there. He takes it, goes with it. Like you're saying, Burke grabs it. Didn't think he was going to get to it, but the plant and throw, not where it wanted to be. But you know what? Great effort to keep it in the infield and to force the play at first.
So a 2-out infield single for Jeff Lowen. That's going to bring up number 22, Eric Branning.
Branning, of course, has a good game behind the plate going, blocking a lot of those balls around the dirt. And there you go, just talking about that. Ball gets in the dirt right behind the catcher, and those are free bags right there.
So the Jays, again, with a base hit here, have a chance to scrape another run on the board. Two down here in the bottom of the third, 11-1. The Cubs lead it. Pitch just misses outside.
Branning with a good eye at the plate there, obviously, knowing where the umpire is going, his strengths and weakness right now, playing right in front of him for for this game already.
2 balls and no strikes to count to Branning. Takes that pitch up and in. It's 3-0. Mike Monastersky on deck. Looking to get a shot here with maybe 2 runners on. Here's the pitch. High and ball 4, and he's going to get that opportunity. Just the second walk issued by Tkachuk here in the ball game tonight.
You know, Mark, and I was saying he was moving around the plate. Maybe he's trying to do a little too fancy right there, but could be a little bit of fatigue, you know. It's not just fatigue by pitching a lot. Sometimes if you don't get enough of it, or maybe in regular stride, you can just wear out just as easy.
Well, that's a good point. You know, sometimes not throwing enough you can't build up that arm strength that you need to get through 3 or 4 innings. That pitch is ripped down the left field line. That's a fair ball. They'll be cut off by Bassett. Lowen around third. Bassett's going to throw it in. Cut off by Goodfellow. Lowen's going to score. And it's an RBI single for Mark Monastersky, and the Blue Jays have their second run of the ball game.
A great 2-out hit by MM there, and of course goes right down the line. 2 guys on. You want to bring at least one of them in with the 2 outs. He gets the one in, sets up for first and second. Here we go.
We're taking a look at it. It looked like a breaking ball that was upstairs, and Monastersky went right after it, tomahawked it into left field down the line. And that scored Lowen from second. And just like that, it's a 12-2 game, and still 2 runners on, and it turns the order over. Back to the top of the order, here's Keith Branning.
You know, we just saw Eric, and here's his older brother Keith. A lot of speed right here if he puts the ball in play.
Branning bounced out to first and to the first baseman in the first inning. Swings and misses that high fastball. Strike 1.
Stewart, of course, with the look at me first baseman moment as he slides in to tag the base as a close play was about to begin.
That was, I believe, what Greg Zahn would call a TV dive. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Branning. Breaking ball, swing and a miss way out in front of that. And Tkachuk is ahead 0-2 here, and the Jays need Branning to come through on this one.
Maybe a little eager on that pitch, seeing what just happened to past previous batters, but got to stay true to your pitch right now.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the third, 2 down. Here at Q Park, Jays looking to continue to chip away here at the Cubs' lead. Tkachuk set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball popped up. And that is back and out of play just beside our Rogers truck.
No dents in this one anymore. We got the one early out of the way. Let's try and avoid the truck, guys.
There's that pitch that was up and in before, brushing back off the plate.
Definitely not what you're looking for in an 0-2 count.
Branning looking to deliver. Here's the pitch. Oh, swing and a miss on a pitch just off the plate. And that'll end the third inning for the Blue Jays. They get another run on 2 hits. We've played 3 complete here at Q Park, and it's the the Cubs 12 and the Blue Jays 2. Welcome back, everybody, to Q Park. Beautiful night here for MMBL action on Rogers TV. It's the Cubs versus the Blue Jays, A Division action. And at the moment, it's all Cubs. They lead this one 12-2 as we head to the top of the fourth. Going to be Graham Smith, Mike Rowley, and Ryan Stud Goodfellow coming up for the Cubs in the top of the fourth. And Brandon, we talked about it. The biggest difference tonight, obviously, the walks. You know, you give those free passes to any team, but a team like the Cubs, you're going to pay for it, and they've made you pay for it tonight.
12 runs on the board. That's pretty much all you need to know about this game, with the exception of how they got it, like you said, by the walks. The sticks are not that active right now, but the walks are going to hurt you. Yona back out there for another inning. This will be his third and change, as he did come in as relief in the first after Lowen did not register an out in the inning. So we're looking to continue, kind of eat up innings right now and keep the ball on the middle of the plate and make the Cubs put the ball in play.
Could not agree with you more, my friend. Here's Graham Smith to lead it off. Yanoa still on the mound for the Blue Jays. Misses upstairs, ball one. Here's Graham Smith, 0 for 1 tonight. Swing and a miss on that. Ball and a strike. He lined back to the pitcher back in the second inning.
The quick reflexes, of course, by the pitcher on that one.
That pitch down, 2 balls and a strike.
You know, talked a little bit earlier about fine-tuning when it comes to pitchers, and those 2 last pitches that we just saw, they were different deliveries to the plate, the way he placed his front foot down, and that could vary the results pitch by pitch.
Another breaking ball down and away, 3 balls and a strike to Graham Smith. Swing and a miss on an outside fastball.
Got him to go around on that one. Again, a couple in the dirt now. Maybe you weren't exactly looking for that one, but what are you going to bring with this one? You got 3-2 right now.
About to find out. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball up and away, and that's ball 4 and yet another walk. Okay, Graham Smith will go to first base after that. Actually, he's a former Blue Jay. Now playing for the Cubs. And that'll bring up Mike Rowley, who walked back in the second and scored.
Lead-off batter back on first. Familiar territory for the Cubs and the Jays, but could be different results coming at the plate right now with Raleigh. Swing
and a miss at a high fastball, strike 1.
Looked like he was going for the gusto there, the way he was setting up and the way he went around.
I don't know if he came out of his shoes on that, but he came out of the box on that one. There's the 1-strike pitch from Yanoa. Breaking ball. Soft liner to second. Sarah's got it. Oh, could not get a handle on it. And which should have possibly been a double play has turned into a first and second situation for the Cubs here in the fourth.
We saw him sure-hand it back in the first with the ball a little faster back then, but this one, little bit of a chop, tries to play it off the hop. Looks like he fumbles on the transfer there as he was trying to set his feet to go to 2 to start the double play.
Yep, just possibly maybe took his eye off the ball just before he had it, but an unfortunate error there. That's going to put runners at first and second and nobody out for Ryan Goodfellow, who is 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. Takes that first pitch fastball up and away.
2 on now for Goodfellow, of course. You said 1 for 1, brought one in already, looking to do the same.
Nick Ular now catching for the Blue Jays, going to go out and talk to Yanoa.
Ular brings different dynamic behind the plate, obviously. Much bigger guy, as you can tell right there, than pitcher Nola, which creates its own set of problems when you have such a big guy behind the plate. You don't necessarily think you can throw as down as you're used to because he won't get down to block it in time. But very agile the catcher is right now.
So a little chat with Yanoa. Goodfellow's going to get back in the box. Nobody out. We're in the top of the fourth. Cubs lead this one at the moment 12-2. There's the 1-0 pitch. In there for strike 1, catches the outer half of the plate.
Looks like he might have missed the mark, but still got enough of the plate there to bring the count even at ones.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Goodfellow. Fastball up and away, 2 balls and a strike. Runners at first and second for the Cubs. They're looking to add on to their already impressive lead here tonight. You know what's got his sign? Comes set. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for strike 2. Caught the outside corner.
Really working the outside here against Goodfellow, but of course, he went to right field with his pitch. Last at bat, so not sure if it's the smartest play you want to make against him, but if you're hitting the strike zone, you're hitting the strike zone.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, foul tipped into the glove of Ular, and Goodfellow's gone, 1 down.
Gets him to chase high there, and the veteran knew it right away. He should not have been going around on that pitch.
Bit of a half swing, didn't really commit to it, but we'll take a look at it. The high fastball here from Yanoa just could not hold up. So that's going to turn the order over, bring up the leadoff guy for the Cubs, Andrew Bruce. Another conversation on the mound. I guess it worked on the last hitter. They want to try it again.
Catchers, like all masked men, are creatures of habit, and you know, if you do one thing and it works, you do it again and again and again.
Bruce is 1 for 1 with a double and an RBI. 2 runs scored here tonight. Batter asked for time. Umpire Joel Goom awards it to him after, and Ular took a little long to get their signs together there, which is funny after the 1-minute conversation they just had on the mound. But first pitch to Bruce. Breaking ball down for ball 1.
You know, you don't always talk about baseball when you go up to the mound. Sometimes you just want to talk about what you saw in the outfield, a bird that flew too low, or maybe that soccer ball that keeps getting annoying in the background.
Or what kind of beer we have later. There's a line drive to short off the glove of Carlson. That's going to go into left field. Smith will get to third. Rowley to second. Let's take another look at that. Not sure what the official scorer is going to rule on that. Carlson did get a good glove on it.
Came off the bat hot there, but, going back, missed on the double play. That one, not necessarily the easiest ball to grab, but off the glove, should have had. There we go. Puts it past the shortstop right there, loads the bases up.
So we're going to load the bases for the Cubs' home run leader, Rory Soanes. Swings and misses at that breaking ball down and in that they got him with for strike 3 back in the second inning. Soanes is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. It's the 0-1 pitch. And that gets by him. Play at the plate. And Smith is out as that ball caromed back off the backstop and shot about halfway back to the plate to Ular, who flipped it to Yanoa, and they got Graham Smith at home plate.
Who says the Jays don't get bounces? There's a good one right there, of course. Catcher couldn't get down, but with the ball coming back, able to make the play. No slide there because he thought the ball was not going to take that hop off the fence there.
There's a look at there. You see it skips by Ular, but it shot right back about halfway there. He picks it, fires to and Smith knows he's out. That pitch is in to Rory Soanes, catches a piece of him. And that's going to load the bases again for the Cubs.
The baseball gods giveth, and the baseball gods taketh away.
So 2 down here in the 4th. The bases are full of Cubs. For the big man, Adam Hand, who hit a moonshot to dead center back in the second inning. Takes a breaking ball down and away, ball 1.
A hitter with a lead like this, are you looking for that long one? Are you just looking for that one normal pitch, or do you stay in your normal rhythm?
I think he's looking for it. Check swing there. Fouls that back, evens the count at 1-1. It's a 12-2 game, and the bases are juiced with 2 out. He's looking for one.
If you can get him out there as easy as he makes it look, I'm not going to argue. Why not go for it?
I would be looking for one. I wouldn't get it. I mean, I may get it. I wouldn't hit it. Here's the 1-1, swings and fouls that back, a ball and 2 strikes, and Yanoa may be looking for some revenge here.
Again, Hand, like pointed out with his first at-bat home run, really stepping into that bucket, really puts his foot out wide and does it there on an outside pitch of all things.
So here's the 1-2 pitch to Hand. Fastball upstairs, swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Yanoa exacts some revenge there. Striking out Hand to end the inning, and no runs across for the Cubs. Here in the 4th. Fastball upstairs, Hand could not catch up to it. Yanoa had a little bit extra on it.
He wanted all of it. He got none of it.
And that'll do it for the Cubs here in the 4th. No runs across. They had a hit, a walk, a hit batter, person reached by an error, but nothing across. We're going to go to the home half of the 4th. The Jays coming up. They trail 12-2.
You know, again, after having a leadoff single and then the reach on air, no damage done, which is a good thing for the Jays, but they could have got out of that inning a lot sooner if they've been able to make the plays that they were supposed to make, especially that double play there by sure-handed Sarah, but just a little bobble and delayed the inning.
Coming up in the fourth half of the inning here for the Blue Jays. 2, 3, 4 batters for the Jays. Cliff Truman, Geraldo Yanoa, and Steve Carlson. Looking to get a couple guys on, move them over, get them in, and chip away at this 10-run lead currently by the Cubs.
A couple more innings to go, so you put a couple more. You put them in 2s and 3s. It's easier to take back all those runs that you're looking for here. But I shouldn't say easy, considering, again, it's up against the Cubs. And the way that, just watching the pitch go right there, the way that Markin has been throwing it in there, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but he's hitting all the spots.
This will be Markin's last inning of work here in the 4th. We just saw Yanoa's last inning of work as well, as he's pitched 4 innings. Did a fairly decent job coming in and trying to keep the Jays close. Sun is set here at Q Park. We're in the bottom of the 4th. MMBL baseball on Rogers TV. It's the A-Division action of the Cubs taking on the Blue Jays. Jason Jackson here with Brandon Sadeko. As Markin Kachuk finishes his warm-up, Rory Soames throws the ball down to second, and we are ready to go. Leading off the 4th for the Jays will be Cliff Truman.
Truman, of course, batting .353, walking into this game. One of those leaders, one of those offensive guys that the Jays want to get going. Let's see what he can get going right now.
Truman's 1 for 1, had a single earlier and a stolen base back in the 1st. Breaking ball misses badly, ball 1.
Maybe not the start Markin was looking for on this batter, but the way we've seen him come back, look for a strike here.
Just misses outside, ball 2. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Foul down the third base line. 2 balls and a strike.
Chopping it right there, looking maybe a little antsy after those 2, knowing that it wasn't going to be 3 straight balls against Markin the way he's been pitching right now.
Fastball on the outside corner, fouled back by Truman. Just got a piece of that. That's going to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
End of the bat there, one of those worst feelings. You feel like you want to always get more on those swings, but you're just moving the bat at too fast that you catch the end. Sometimes you get dribblers in the field, and sometimes you get lucky and get to swing again.
Curveball flown into left field on the run. Donnie Burke at short. He's back to get it. And there's 1 down.
Good run by the shortstop there after Truman was taking a couple of those hacks, finally puts it in play, but runs it down. Burke does.
Truman not happy with himself. Little flip of the helmet there. Obviously really wanted to get on base, get something started for the Jays here in the fourth. But the one we'll leave that up to Geraldo Yanoa. 0 for 1, struck out looking back in the first. Big cut on that high fastball, strike one. And here's the play just now from Berkey. Goes out, makes the catch, calls off the left fielder. Very nice play.
Always important to call off the fielder at that point. You never know how hard they're charging, especially when you're concentrating the ball up in the air. Avoid injuries and avoid penalty fines by the team afterwards.
That's right. We all got work in the morning. We don't need to collide with anybody out there. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Yanoa. Oh! Looks like it caught a piece of the helmet there.
I think he turned enough to maybe catch the back, but not good when you're getting dinged in the head. Yanoa down right now. Just taking a breather. It's what you want. You always want to preach safety first. Make sure that he can get up on his own here.
He's going to shake that off, so he's going to be all right. We'll take a look at this and see exactly, where it got him. I think it did. I think he ducked, and it hit his hand that was holding the bat behind him. Yeah, it is. It did not hit him in the head. That's what I really wanted to take a look at there. It caught him on his backhand as he ducked. Brandon, you could see it. He ducked, and it hit him on his backhand that was holding the bat still.
Well, it's a bit of relief that it didn't hit him in the head, but still awkward place to get hit, especially with your hands behind you.
So you know it's going to come out of the ball game here, and as an injury substitution, he is going to go to Cliff Truman is going to run for him now, as Cliff was the last out. And that's going to bring up Steve Carlson with one down now and a runner at first for the Blue Jays. Carlson looks around to bunt, but Truman will then steal second easily.
Looking to provide some protection on that bunt there. Buys enough time for Truman to get in standing up.
Truman's second stolen base of the game. Now Carlson will look for a base hit here and try to bring Truman around to score. Pitch fouled back.
Taking a cut, a little bit high, but gets a piece of it, knows where he is.
1-1 the count to Steve Carlson. We're in the home half of the fourth here at Q Park. Cubs lead the Blue Jays currently 12-2. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and a strike. Good eye by Carlson. Marco Serra waiting on deck. Truman breaks for third. Carlson fouls it on the right side. That'll leave the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Wondering at this point if the Jays are trying for a hit and run or if they're just Truman on his own. But he went to go disrupt the pitcher there as he bolted down the line, took a bit of a pause, and then, of course, once the contact came, kept on going.
Two-two pitch, breaking ball outside. So a full count here to Carlson. 1 down in the bottom of the fourth. Jays have a runner at second. Marking to come set. Here's the 3-2. Fastball in the inside corner, called strike 3, 2 down.
Catches him inside low, looking. Does not like the bat right now.
So 2 down, that's going to bring up Marco Serra, who has walked his first time up and scored one of the 2 Jay runs.
I don't know, but umpire still rings him up, says he got enough black on that inside.
So Sarah's going to look to cash in Truman here. Takes first pitch in there for a strike. Truman's got his lead. Markian checks him. It's a ground ball out to second. Picked by hand, thrown to Rolly at first. And that'll end the fourth.
Sarah looking obviously to put the ball in play. Guy on second, chip away at the lead. Fortunately, goes straight to the second baseman and quick throw back to the first to end the half.
So no runs, no hits across for the Jays. We've played 4. We go to the top of the 5th. It's the Cubs 12, the Blue Jays 2. Welcome back to Q Park and MMBL Baseball on Rogers TV. I'm Jason Jackson along with Brandon Sadeko. And Brandon, bit of a one-sided game at the moment. The Cubs lead this one 12-2. But really, you know, have out-hit the Jays 7-3. You know what? The difference, we mentioned it before, the free passes, the walks, a couple of errors. You give a team like the Cubs especially, you know, that type of leeway, and they're going to pounce on it, and they have pounced on it tonight for sure.
Walks are always going to be the issue, and that's what you want to avoid as a pitcher and as a team. You don't want to give those free passes up. You don't want to have them just walking the bases almost at will, but it happened, and that's the unfortunate part. If when the Cubs have put the ball in play, haven't been that successful tonight as they have been all season long, but definitely the free passes are going to tell the story because it puts your pitcher and your team in an awkward position every at-bat.
Without a doubt, you're taking a shot here at Q Park now. The Jays have a new pitcher on the hill.
Big man, for former third baseman.
Mark Monastersky on the hill now for the Jays, picking up where Geraldo Yanoa left off. Leading off for the Cubs is going to be Mike Stewart, followed by Phil Chan and John Bassett here in the 5th. Stewart coming up, he's 0 for 1. Struck out in the 2nd, walked and scored back in the 1st.
Stewart, of course, looking to put this game away as we are here in the 5th. Get a couple runs early right now and just almost finish this thing off.
Euler out there talking with Monastersky, getting a game plan together. And here we go.
It's almost like the catcher just takes a look back. It's like, are you sure that's what you want to do? You know what? Pitcher's got the ball. He's going to throw whether he agrees with what you call or not. He's just going to put it there, and you have to make sure you just catch it and work with him on it.
All right, so here we go. Stewart leading it off for the Cubs. They sport a 12-2 lead here in the top of the 5th. That first pitch up and in for ball 1. One-0 pitch, fastball popped up, foul territory. Euler going for it, cannot get to it. Some ample foul territory here at Q Park, and that neither Baker nor Euler could get to that.
Long run for the catcher, covered a lot of ground on that one. You'd think that'd be just all first basemen there, but almost put perfectly in the spot where no one was going to get it.
So a ball and a strike to Mike Stewart. Monastersky on the hill. There's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball up and in, 2 balls and a strike.
Both balls worked him up high on inside.
Stewart rips one into left field for a base hit to lead off the 5th for the Cubs.
Comes back on the inside there, keeps it low over the plate. Just puts it right in between the shortstop and the third baseman. He gets himself on base.
So a leadoff single for Stewart. That's going to bring up Phil Chan, who was 1 for 1 with a single, 2 RBIs, scored twice and reached on an error back in the 3rd. First pitch up and in, ball 1.
There's the inside coverage of the plate there that Mike's trying to gain on the batters.
And there's a pitch that's up and away, gets off the glove of Ular, and Stewart's going to move up to second on the pass ball.
Unfortunate, just dribbles off the glove, couldn't squeeze it as it goes back to the fence, and another free bag, free base, which is what the Cubs have been getting all night long.
Like we mentioned, they lead at 12-2, but they only have 7 actual hits right now. The difference in the game for sure. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Chan. Upstairs, and that's ball 3.
Chan right now 3-0, probably really wants something to hit. You don't want to keep taking those free walks.
And that misses outside, ball 4. So 2 on, nobody out for the Cubs here in the top of the 5th, and that'll bring up John Bassett, who is 1 for 1 with a single, and he walked back in the 3rd.
Bassett right now in prime opportunity to kind of put this game away. If he finds any green out there behind the infielders, get 1, possibly 2 at chance speed. We've seen a motor around the bases earlier today.
So Monastersky looks in, has got his sign. Here's the pitch. Another one up and in. Having some trouble finding the zone right now.
Third batter, first pitch is all up and in.
That pitch in the dirt, blocked by Ular. 2 balls and no strikes here to Bassett. And that pitch is up and away. Ball 3. And definitely the name of the game for the Jays tonight has been pitchers not being able to throw strikes.
Another 3-0 count back-to-back. We've had 7 straight balls now.
And he's going to miss, and that's back-to-back walks here in the 5th.
Not the start that Mike was looking for here in the top of the 5th. Bases loaded right there. 1 hit and 2 walks, though.
And the catcher's going to go out and talk to him, give him a little pep talk. But you know what that's like, Brandon, out in the field when your pitcher just can't find the zone. Nothing worse as a fielder is you're just standing there and not getting to make a play, not getting to move around.
You're just waiting, hoping that, the contact comes, ball gets put in place, you can help him out because he really is. The mound is basically an island. He's out there on an island by himself in these situations.
So that brings up Donnie Burke. He'll look at a breaking ball way outside for ball 1. Burke is 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Bounced into a double play back in the 1st. I'm sure the Jays are hoping that happens again. That pitch up and away for ball 2, and Monastersky is just struggling here.
Didn't really like that one there, Thought he might have hit some of the edges.
But you know what it's like when you've missed, so many before. You rarely get those close ones.
Yeah, and back to the island theory, he's a man against the country right now, trying to do something. It's just not working right now.
So another 3-0 count to Donnie Burke. Here's the pitch. That pitch down and in, that's going to walk in a run. 3rd walk of the inning.
3rd straight, there's your free pass. Give him 13 on the night, the Cubs.
How to bring up Mark Hickman, who is 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice back in the third, walked back in the first. First pitch to Hickman. Takes a breaking ball outside for another ball.
Just not finding it right now. You know, the mental game, it's getting to him right now. He's just got to block everything out, use that short memory. And the zone's got to look like the size of a hockey puck right now to Mike, right? Can't seem to find anything about the plate.
You said that's a lonely feeling out there. That pitch is ripped down the third base line for a hit. That's going to be an RBI single for Hickman.
Adding to the total, just bat on ball right there, gets by the third baseman Lowen, and add another one on the board. There it is right now.
Breaking ball, Hickman stayed on it, ripped it down the third base line for a hit. It's an RBI single for him.
Always a tough play on those short hops down the third base line. You're never exactly sure whether you should lay out or just grab it, but you know what? Most of the times, those squeak through anyways.
Breaking ball in there for strike one to Adam Bruce, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out back in the third.
Mike comes through the first pitch strike here.
It's a curveball that's hit into the air. The shallow left center field. Great play there by Branding. He's going to throw it in. Tagging from third is Bassett. Now there's one away.
Mike gets him to swing on that one. He just misses it the way he puts it off into center field. There's the throw in. Knew he wasn't going to get him at home, so just tried to keep the runner there at second base.
So one away here in the fifth. Still 2 on, and here's Marky Tkachuk, the starting pitcher tonight for the Cubs, who's in line for the victory. Would be his, I believe, 4th of the year, if the Cubs are able to hold on to this. Takes the first pitch up and in for ball 1.
Definitely a game plan that the Jays have right now in the first pitch for every batter.
Pitch down in the dirt. Buehler got a piece of it. Runners do not advance.
Markin's got one inside, got one away, wondering what he's going to be facing at this pitch.
In there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. That pitch is upstairs.
Working all around the zone, trying to get Markin to fish. Just sticking right to the zone. Sticking to his game plan, sticking to his wheelhouse.
Swing and a miss there by Markin. Strike 2. Pitch gets by Nick. And that's a full count to Markin Tkachuk.
Bottom falls out of that one a little bit too early. Awarded another free pass right there. Another talk with the catcher and the pitcher right there. Working again back on the game plan on what they were looking for. Not necessarily finding it early. But they're coming in right now. With Graham Smith up at the plate, looking for the first one here. Again, another high inside pitch to the for the first pitch on the batter. Really seems to be the game plan that the Jays are going with right now. Maybe push him back, force back outside on the next pitch like we've seen. High 2-0 right there with fastball up high. Smith right now, again, looking for what he can hit. Just sticking to the plan for him in the box. Fly ball. Nagged by the shortstop there.
Infield fly and the batter's out. Means the batter's automatically out on any pop-up in the infield, so the fielder can't purposely drop the ball, pick it up, and try to get more than one out with it. So 2 down here in the 5th.
And we got Rowley back up.
He's 0 for 1, reached on an error back in the 4th, walked and scored in the 2nd. Swings and rips this one into right field. That's going to get down and get to the wall. Scoring is Hickman. Rowley's on his way to 3rd. And that's a 2 RBI triple for Mike Rowley, and the pain continues here for the Blue Jays.
Definitely not what the pitcher wanted right there on that one to give up something like that. Base clearing triple there for Rowley. You know, he was looking for one earlier. He got it on this pitch, puts it all the way down. And 3 more on the board, just quick like that for the Cubs.
There's Goodfellow, he pops it up. Euler looking for it, racing back. And he makes the play.
Up on the fence.
Amazing catch from Nick Euler to end the inning.
Still playing hard here, the Jays are.
Great, great effort. So for the Cubs, that's 6 more runs. And Brandon, we talked about it, on just 3 hits.
Free passes kill you. Here we go. Goodfellow. Last out right here by Euler, going all the way back. Tracking it down.
Chases this one back to the fence. Great effort. The umpire right there to make the call. Amazing effort.
Pinned himself up, caught the ball, made sure that wasn't dropped, and the inning continue, especially after the Cubs added the couple more runs that they did.
So 6 more runs across for the Cubs, as we said. On just 3 hits, 1 left. We go to the Jays half of the 5th inning, and it is a 17-2 ball game right now.
And here we see, you mentioned before that only pitched 4 innings here in MMBL ball. So we got our new pitcher on the mound for the Cubs, looking to close out the game here. Enjoying a smile with his team right now as he's throwing in his practice pitches. John Bassett right now. Couple innings pitched this season. He's got a win on record and 1.31 ERA right now.
4 in the 5th now. Bottom of 5.
Just look at him throw. Wide stance all the way down. Got to think right now with the Jays coming up to bat. Got to stick with the game plan that they have to chip away. It's a big one. Don't really know if they can chip away fully, but you still got to go and play.
Well, that's exactly it. You know what? I mean, it doesn't look good when you look at the score, look at the scoreboard. But you know what? Anything is possible, especially in baseball. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen often, but it happens.
We've seen it before in this league. You know, the starter goes out there, gives his 4 innings, and then a reliever comes in, not warmed up properly, and you get to him early and you build off of that. And that's probably what the Jays are looking for right now. You know, you got to find a spark plug somewhere, and with a new pitcher, not as warm coming into this game, that's what you want to do. You want to pounce on him early, and if it's in the zone, you want to just get around on the ball and drive it. Just look for the green, look for that hit, and build right off that right away.
So we got Rebello, Forrester, and Gaetan leading off the 5th here for the Blue Jays. Rebello had a deep fly ball to dead center field back in the 2nd, just missing a home run.
Fence 338. He decides to go 336. Cruel fate of baseball right there. Thought he had it all. Pitch down early right there, like I was saying. Bassett didn't have proper time to warm up like a starter would, obviously. So a little bit cold, and you want to jump on this early.
And unfortunately, the warm-up areas here, there's no bullpens with mounds. So it is tough for pitchers here at Q Park to actually come into the game and find that release point from throwing on a flat ground to throwing on the mound. It could take a bit.
It's not the easiest thing in the world. Obviously, you're looking at a downward slope. You're also elevated. Plays into the mind that where you want your pitch, it's not going to end up. So you try to overthrow a little bit, and you work yourself into a bit of trouble early on.
Ball and a strike to Rebello. Takes the fastball outside. Ball 2.
Rowley, of course, walking around. He, of course, had his 3-run triple in the last half of the inning to add to the Cubs' lead.
Pitch catches the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dave Rebello.
Rebello not a fan of the pitch, but he knows he's got at least one more to play with.
Nighttime here at Q Park. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball down and in. That makes the count full. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. 1 down here in the 5th.
No hesitation about that one. That was all black on the outside right there. Pitch from the other view. Right there, straight in the catcher's glove. There's no doubt about that one.
So that's going to bring up Unica Forrester, who had a sac fly back in the 2nd with an RBI, scoring the first run of the game for the Jays. Breaking ball down and away, ball 1.
Going to a well a lot on those breaking balls, trying to get the Jays to force themselves to go after that, as it looks good and the bottom just keeps falling out.
Breaking ball, big swing and a miss by Forrester. Evens the count at 1-1.
Just watch this right now.
This is big 12-6 break on this. Look at that.
Just stays above the dirt, but starts high, breaks low. It's tough.
1-1 pitch just down for ball 2.
Throws 2 curveballs, tries to set him up with a fastball, but good set of eyes right there.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Forrester. Swings. Hits a chopper to short. He's thrown to first. Dug out at first and in time. Nice pick by Stewart at first.
Great pick there. Great pick-me-up for his teammate. Shortstop bobbles a little bit. Has enough time to still throw it in. Bad hop, but with the pickup, still gets the out at first.
Take a look at this here. Knocked down by Bruce. Long throw across the diamond. Dugout by Stewart. Umpire right there to make the call. So 2 down. Here's Jason Gaitan. He'll take ball 1. Check swing and a little roller down the third base line.
Gaitan, of course, looking not get fooled by the curveball. That was evident by Bassett earlier. Got to protect against that, especially the way it's dropping. There it is. Curveball come in, and just trying to get enough of it just to foul it off. He succeeds at that. Puts himself in a bigger hole, though.
A ball and 2 strikes to count here to Jason Gaitan. Pitch from Bassett. Breaking ball just misses. 2-2 the count. Gaitan 0 for 1, struck out back in the 2nd. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Bassett. Another breaking ball just misses low in the dirt.
Went to the well twice on that one, trying to look him to go, but Gaitan's with his good eyes behind the plate there.
Got to figure he's going to come hard at him here. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Bassett. Swung on and fouled back, and he did.
There's a little bit of break on that fastball, which could be very deceiving to the batters there, especially after watching the big swooping curve. Results in that foul tip right there.
So we'll reset. We'll do it again. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Held on by Sones.
And there's that big swooping curve by Bassett right there.
And a 3-up, 3-down inning here in the 5th for the Cubs. We're going to go to the top of the 6th. Cubs well in command of this one. It's 17-2.
Tough half inning at the plate there for the Jays, but they know they got to go back out, play defense, stop them. In this inning, see what the Cubs are going to do, if they're going to stick back with what they've been doing, which is force the Jays to pitch down the middle of the plate.
We're going to step out for a quick break before we head to the top of the 6th. It's MMBL Baseball on Rogers TV. It's the Cubs 17 and the Blue Jays 2. Fireworks have gone off here at Q Park tonight, Brandon. The Cubs with a commanding 17-2 lead here over the Blue Jays. Just hasn't been the Jays' night, but the difference in this one, definitely the walks. The Cubs have out-hit them by 10-3, which in itself is impressive, but they've had they're in double digits in walks, hit batters, errors. I mean, they've handed the Cubs a lot tonight. And the Cubs, like the top team that they are, take advantage of it right away.
It's a little bit of a shame that the story of the night is all the walks, especially considering how Hand sent one out of the park, and that, we kind of forget about that amongst the storyline of the free passes all game long.
We're moving on. Leading it off here for the Cubs is going to be Andrew Bruce, Rory Sones, Adam Hand due up here this inning. Mike Monastersky still on the hill for the Jays. Here we go.
Mike, of course, pitched last inning. A little bit rough outing for him, so start off good at this one, set himself up.
There's a ground ball to second. Picked up there by Cliff Truman, thrown on to first to Rebello. One away.
There's the fielding aspect of the Jays. Good hop right there to the second baseman, who's able to throw out the runner at first there.
And that is the first time tonight, Brandon, that the Blue Jays have got the first Cubs batter of the inning. Very telling.
It's definitely going to be a different game if they're able to do that back in the first. And, if there's a quick 1-2-3 inning, hey, you never know what could happen, but that's baseball.
Here's Rory Sones. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Was hit back in the 4th and walked and scored in the 1st. So that first pitch up and away. Sones, one of the 4 original Cubs, 8-year veteran of the MMBL. Looks at ball 2 outside. Another one outside. That's 3-0 count now to Rory Sones.
As we've stressed with the broadcast, how successful the Cubs have been. The original players, the long-standing teammates. That's how you're going to keep winning those championships.
So you set that the camaraderie, that chemistry. You know, what they're talking about now is the Toronto Blue Jays. Do they have that in their locker room right now? Makes a difference. Sones hits this ball to right. Down the right field line for a base hit, and that'll bring up the big man Adam Hand, who was 1 for 2 tonight with a strikeout, a walk, a run scored, and a long 2-run homer back in the second.
Here's Son's hit. Good extension, puts it right inside the line, down to right field.
This Mitch is outside for ball 1.
And of course, we saw last at bat going for it. Probably going to go for it again.
Fastball swings and he pops this up into shallow center field. Yanoa going out for it. He's there. He'll make the catch, and there's 2 down. Nice play there by Geraldo Yanoa, now playing shortstop.
You know, after being hit earlier, ice packs off, going out there, giving one for the team right there, taking out shortstop, runs out, grabs the ball.
So 2 down. Sones at first. That's going to bring up Mike Stewart, who is 1 for 2 today. Had a single back in the 5th. Takes ball 1. There's a fastball, big swing and a miss by Stewart. Evens the count at 1-1. He was going for it on that, I think.
Here he goes.
Look at
Pitch.
that. Oh. He did come out of his shoes on that one. Breaking ball misses inside. Ball 2.
When you swing like that and you connect, feels good. When you swing like that and you miss, you wonder if anybody saw that.
You're wondering why my back hurt in the morning when I wake up to go to work. 2-1 pitches upstairs. 3 balls and a strike. That pitch misses badly. So another walk. That's going to bring up Phil Chan.
3 of those 4 balls well over the head on the inside. We're not sure, again, if trying to knock him off the plate or just trying to get a grip on the curveball there, but has not been working so far.
2 down here. Here's Phil Chan. He has scored 3 times tonight. Singled, reached on an error, and walked. Scoring all 3 times. It's a little flare. Leaping grab by Rebello at first, and that'll end the inning.
Good grab on the flare, climbing ladder, making sure, comes down with it. Last thing you want to do is have it go off the glove.
Leaping grab. Excellent play by Rebello to end the inning. And that's no runs across for the Cubs. 1 hit, 2 left.
Should maybe get extra style points for kicking the legs out like that one, too.
I think so.
Jays coming in, obviously celebrating that inning. That was a nice quick inning.
Last chance for the Blue Jays here. This is going to be their last crack at it. They're down 17-2. Tough night for the Jays, Brandon. We've all been part of it. You know, you don't get off to that good start. You dig yourself the hole. It's hard to get out of, but they've battled, and they've made some nice plays, you know, chipped away for a couple runs, and you know what? They show some signs of life, but it's going to be a tough stretch for them down the rest of the way to try to make the playoffs.
You know, being in A division, every game is a difficult game, and from this, again, it goes back to having short memories. You know, it wasn't the start you wanted. Technically, it wasn't the middle they wanted, not how they obviously wanted to end it.
Sure.
But, you know, they did have a lot of good points. They're going to look back and just be like, hey, we did out-hit them. We kept it low. We kept their hits low. When they did put it in play, we were able to take them off the base paths at the same time. So, again, there's positives to the game, but overall it's still going to hurt, especially how big the gap is with the loss.
Yeah, they definitely made some nice plays defensively tonight, but definitely the walks is what killed them overall. So, you know what, something for them to build on and to work on, get their pitchers working a little bit more, getting them throwing some more strikes, putting the ball in play. They proved tonight you put the ball in play, and for the most part, their defense is going to help them out, and I think that's big. And you mentioned it, especially in the A division here. You know, no free passes. These teams are good enough to beat you on their own. You don't need to help them. And, you know what? It's going to be one of those things that they're going to continue to work on, continue to build on. Like before the game, we heard Captain Mark Rosero say that this was their best defensive team yet. I think they've shown that tonight. And you know what? They can keep working on it from there.
Whether it comes from the grabs that they're making, whether it comes by swinging at the plate, they are a good team. And again, once it comes all together, they're going to be a sight to see. But fortunately, it wasn't tonight. But they can still go out in the bottom half, the last inning, still put on a little bit of good show, and feel good that they left on a high.
Graham Smith on to close this one out for the Cubs. It's going to be Nick Ular, Greg Baker, and Jeff Lowen for the Blue Jays. Their last chance at it here.
You know, Bassett last inning, pitcher of the fifth for the Cubs, came in, a lot of breaking stuff, sweeping stuff right there as we saw during those warm-ups. It's a lot of gas from Smith here.
So Ular is going to dig into the plate. And here we go. Smith misses inside for ball one. At that big leg kick. Swinging a ground ball to short. Little bobble there from Donnie Burke. And it costs him. Ular is going to beat that out.
Euler hustling down the line, and that's why they call him Choo Choo. You see him huffing and puffing as he goes down the line there.
That'll bring up Greg Baker, number 31. Baker tonight 0 for 1. Caught looking back in the third. Takes that first pitch upstairs for ball one. Pitch misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes to Baker.
Throwing some sweep in action here. Not going to make it easy for the Jays batters in this one.
Fires on a strike there. 2 balls and a strike to Baker now. Tough for a pitcher, Brandon, when you get that first pitch, that first batter, the ground ball, which should be an out. Doesn't happen, you got to regroup a bit.
It'll take some time. Looks like he might have found what he's looking for, though, despite missing on that last pitch there.
Smith set. Here's the 3-1. Fouled straight back. Full count now to Greg Baker.
You know, it's always a little bit of an anomaly, like you're saying. You know, you go from the full windup, first guy gets on, you go from the stretch. But what you do when you practice, you do a lot of it from the stretch. So it's weird, the change of movements.
That pitch is lined into right center field for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there by Baker. Went with the pitch, and the Jays have runners at first and second with nobody out.
Puts it to right field there, making some noise. Get a replay of the hit here. Like you said, just goes with it, pops it right short and right. And all you do is watch him go to second base. Watch the guy go to first.
Smith paints the outside corner, strike one. Owens up, had an infield single back in the third and scored one of the 2 Jays runs. Pitch is in there for strike 2, and Smith's painting right now.
Looked like he was always looking for those corners with his early misses at the last at bat.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Curveball fouled into the Jays dugout.
Bit of a wake me up for the team, I guess.
A lot of dancing going on in there. Who had the best 2-step? I missed it.
That'd have to be the player coach. That's experience right there.
I think so. No balls and 2 strikes to Jeff Lowen. Here's the pitch from Graham Smith. Fastball is fouled back.
Good battle here by Lowen after being dropped 0-2 early. Really shorten up his swing.
Swings and just gets a piece of that. Nice pitch and a good spoil there from Lowen. That pitch down and away.
Very good protection. Doesn't want to get beat by any chances. Wants to make sure he's going to go after it. Make sure that pitcher comes to him and beats him.
The 0-2 again. Fastball swung and fouled out of play. Lowen putting up a battle here. Smith still ahead 0-2. Line drive, base hit into left field past the diving Donnie Burke.
Uh-oh, a little bit of a rundown there.
Ular overran third base. The Cubs have him in a rundown. Exactly sure what transpired there. He didn't slide initially, trying to get to third on that hit to left field. And thus, I guess, overran the bag and was committed to try to go for home.
Gonna see
Bizarre play. Diving effort. Nice effort by Donnie Burke. Chan came up. You could see he came off the bag and then instead of getting back on it, decided to try to go home with it. Cubs get him in a rundown. They execute it perfectly. There's the tag right there by Graham Smith.
Just couldn't keep those brakes on after that initial. Was he going to catch it? Did he catch it? And then he had to go with everything he had there.
So that will go down as a single to left for Lowen. His second hit of the game. And then the put out after the fact on Ular. That's going to bring up Eric Branning, and it's outside for ball one.
That was a little bit unusual there. Not sure if that caught top of the glove or if that was all catcher's mask. That
I think that was a direct pitch off the umpire. I think Sones got crossed up on that pitch there.
definitely odd, but you know, umpire hung in there, didn't flinch a muscle as it went off him, and ball was of course still in play. Here we go.
Take another look at this. I think Sone's looking for a curve ball, and that pitch was up and went right off the umpire.
Didn't even flinch though. Just kept looking forward, saying, "Play's still on, guys."
That's a tough guy right there. So Branning looking to cash in some runs. Here's the pitch from Graham Smith. Ground ball to short. Burke's got it. Long throw to first. Dug out by Stewart.
Another good grab there. Stewart picking it up off the dirt. Gets out. Number 2 of the inning.
So 2 down. That's going to bring up Mark Monastersky.
See, ball in the dirt. Pick up. And just a great scoop there. Jay's down to the last out.
Ground ball to short. Through the legs of Donnie Burke. 1 run is in. Play at the plate. Sones has it. Tags out Lowen, and that's the ball game.
There's a little bit of a wild play right there to end the game. Ball goes through, running home, and just unfortunate right there for the Jays.
Well, Brandon, that's going to wrap it up here at Q Park on this edition of MMBL Baseball on Rogers TV. We want to thank you all for joining us. Final score tonight is the Cubs 17, the Blue Jays 3. We'll see you next time. Have a good night.